All right, so today we are doing lesson 10, unit 1, lesson 10, and there are no new lesson notes today. Basically, we're just going to be looking at examples of two specific examples of visual patterns or visual sequences and applying our knowledge from last week. So our knowledge of the closed or explicit form and our knowledge of the recursive form or definition. So let's take a look at our examples here, starting with the first one. So let's pull that up. So we are defining the sequence W so that W of n is the number of white squares in stage n. So let's first just count the number of squares. So if we count here, starting here, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm counting 10 white squares in stage 0. Stage 1, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 white squares in stage 1. Stage 2, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 white squares in stage 2. So we count that. Now let's answer the questions. So number 1, is sequence W arithmetic, geometric, or neither? So going from 10 to 14 to 18, to me, that's pretty clear that it's an arithmetic sequence. Why is it an arithmetic sequence? Because we're going up by 4. Our common difference is 4. So let's answer number 2. Write the closed form for sequence W. So remember the closed form, we did that last week. So we say that sequence W is an arithmetic sequence. So we're going to use this formula right here. In this particular one, we are adding, we're going up by 4 each time. So we're going to choose the plus. So for my closed form, it's going to be f of 0 plus minus dn. So my f of 0, remember, is my starting term. And in this case, my starting term is 10. That's the, and we're going to do plus, and our common difference is 4. So my closed form for sequence W is 10 plus 4n. Okay. And then for number 3, we're going to do the same thing except write the recursive form. So recursive, that goes back to the beginning of last week. That is this thing right here. So we already know our f of 0. We know that our f of 0 is equal to 10, since that is our starting term. And we know that our pattern is to add. So we're going to use this one right here. So it's going to be f of n equals f of n minus 1 plus 4. And that is our recursive form for the white squares, the white sequence here. Okay, so that is our first set of examples. Let's look at the next pattern we have, the last part of our examples for today. All right, so here we have a pattern of dots. Okay, so define sequence D such that D of n is the number of dots in stage n. So just like before, I'll go ahead and count the number of dots in each stage. So looks like initially we start off with 2 dots. Then we go to 1, 2, 3, 4 dots in stage 1. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dots in stage 2. Okay, so based on that information, number 4, is sequence D arithmetic, geometric, or neither? This would definitely be a geometric sequence. Okay, what's our common ratio? It looks like we're multiplying by 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So my common ratio in this case is 2. Number 5, we're going to do the same thing we did with the last one. So what is the closed form for sequence D? So this is a geometric sequence. So for the closed form, we're going to use, that one right there. So let me write the formula down. It'll be f of 0 times r to the power of n. So in this case, f of 0 is our starting term. Well, our starting term is right up here. So f of 0 is 2 times r, remember, is my common ratio. And we already decided our common ratio was 2 here. So it's going to be 2 times 2 to the power of n. That is the closed form for sequence D. And then let's finish this off. Number 6. Okay, write the recursive form for sequence D. So that goes back over here. So we've done enough examples of this. My f of 0, my starting term, we already know is 2. And then because it's a geometric sequence, we're going to use this one. Whoops. We're going to use this one right here. So it'll be f of n equals f of n minus 1 times a number, in this case 2. So there is your recursive form for this sequence of dots here. Your cooldown for this lesson will be something similar, where you're given a pattern, a visual pattern, and you will be asked to determine, is it arithmetic, geometric, or neither, and then be able to write both the closed and the recursive form of it. And that is it for lesson 10.